Today we're here in Garfield County at the OSU Extension Office, and joining me is Jenny Gwinnett, who is the County Master Gardener President.
Yes.
And Jenny, you guys have been busy out here, it looks like.
We have been.
Part of your demonstration garden.
Yes, this is the start of our demonstration garden. And we've been, probably the last 20 years, we started this organization. And so this was the very beginning, just what's around here, around the Extension Office. And we've started with a lot of Oklahoma-proven plants, and then we have just expanded over the last couple of years.
So right here we're in full sun, surrounded by concrete against a brick wall. So we've got some really hardy plants
yes.
here. And there's a lot of color.
A lot of color, especially right now with the heliotropes blooming and spreading, and it's just, you know, very attractive, I think.
So
if you're a lover of blue, which I am.
Yeah. So how many master gardeners do you have in this county right now?
We have about 60 members currently.
So with 60 members, you couldn't just stop with this small of a garden, right?
No, we had to keep going, and yes, so we always have wonderful ideas from our gardeners, and they're just willing to share, and that just makes it special for all of us.
And you've actually grown beyond the Extension Office to your demonstration garden.
Yes, right.
So up by the Extension Office, you had more of a landscape, but this is more demonstrating different ways of gardening.
Exactly.
You've got a keyhole garden.
We have a keyhole garden, and as you know, we put our grasses and other things from our gardens in the center, and that leaches out to help fertilize the plants that are on the outside. And so we've just tried different things, some radishes, some tomato plants, some peppers that are recently planted.
Yeah, they just got
in this morning. It's with some marigolds, and so with this wonderful.
We're all wilting
a little bit.
So, and beyond us, you've got a pollinator garden, it looks like.
We have a pollinator, a pocket pollinator garden, prairie garden. So,
and you seeded that? Or?
We seeded that. We decided to put down some black tarp for several months and kind of cook everything, get rid of the weeds. And then after that, we removed the tarp and started putting down, we used some Johnson seeds, wildflower seeds. And it's taken a couple seasons, but it's really beautiful and great for the pollinators.
Which just leads to a whole nother lesson with kids. I know you do a lot of kids programming and stuff, and are going to do even more. It looks like you have a kids garden behind us.
We do have a children's garden we're very proud of. We're just it's in its infancy, but we have a lot of things planned, and we're excited about the lessons we're going to be having out there.
So what's some of the stuff that we can find over here?
Well, this is our most recent flower bed. We wanted to have a children's garden, and we wanted it to be, it's actually planned for another area, and then we decided this was the best location. So we had to move some things around that probably weren't appropriate for children's gardens, like rose bushes. And we had this area that to me looked like a butterfly. So we had a garden tour coming up last week, and we decided let's just make it into the shape of a butterfly. So, you know, we dug it out, and we put the stones around the edging, and have planted several annuals, as you can see in there.
Well, it's definitely colorful, and I know it will probably be attracting a few butterflies this summer,
we hope so.
So you've even got some games out here, like the checkerboard and hopscotch.
Yes, hopscotch for the kids, some activities. We had another garden. This was where our roses were planted, but as I said, we needed to transfer them somewhere else. So we decided to do a direct seeding project. And here again, I kind of looked at the shape of the bed that we had originally and decided, kind of looks like a heart.
You were inspired by
I was
the
inspired,
landscape.
And so we kind of just thrown some seeds down there, and it's just an inexpensive way to start a garden, and we'll see how they do. And you can see our little ladybugs kind of making their way through there.
It looks like there's some lines with sand, so are those dividing the different...
we divided it up with sand. And so we kind of know, and then I marked it with your paint markers, or your paint stirrers, to see how that would be. So we will see. We also have a sensory garden. Our plans are to expand with this, but we want this for children to be able to touch and feel and smell. And so this is the beginning of our sensory garden.
So a lot of color and herbs.
A lot of color and a lot of
textures.
Herbs.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
And then, of course, no garden is complete with without some activity for kids.
One of my favorite additions to the garden is this beautiful labyrinth And a little different from a maze is you have to start at one side and go all the way to the very center of it.
So they follow the brick
They follow
path?
the brick paths, and we've had lots of volunteers that came in and helped bringing their own bricks, and a gentleman that helped to create some bricks for us. But we had many hours of volunteer time is spent on this wonderful labyrinth.
I bet.
So,
Well, it's just beautiful. And what I love most about this is open to the public. A lot of your plants, most of your plants are labeled because a lot of people, Enid has a different climate than some of the other areas
exactly.
of the state.
So much even from Stillwater to Enid.
Yeah.
And so we try and have a variety of Oklahoma proven, and so they can come and see what we have and what does well here in Enid.
What works in the hot, dry, windy
location out here.
Well, thank you for sharing your garden with us.
Well, thank you. So glad you could be here.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.